Hello and a very good morning viewers, you're watching NewsX, I'm Kriti Mehta. Now Prime Minister Narendra Modi has currently embarked on a 6-day journey to the UAE and 4 European nations in a 5-nation tour to further deepen India's bilateral ties. Prime Minister Modi's first destination will be the UAE, where he will meet with President Sheikh Mohamed bin Zayed Al Nahyan with an aim to enhance the bilateral comprehensive strategic partnership and exchange views on the West Asia conflict. The key focus of Prime Minister Modi's trip to the UAE will be to enhance India's energy security. The visit comes days after the UAE announced quitting the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, or the OPEC, a major grouping of the world's top oil exporters. Let's in fact take a look at India's oil imports from the Gulf and why UAE is such an important destination for India. We go across to our plasma screens now to check India's oil imports from the Gulf, beginning with from Iraq. It's the largest traditional Gulf supplier, Iraq, with $28.6 billion of oil imported from Iraq. And then let's also take a look at Saudi Arabia. It's the next most important, $19.3 billion to $19.6 billion. It's been a consistent top supplier of oil and gas to India. And then UAE, $13.5 to $13.7 billion, a key Gulf partner for India. Kuwait is also a significant and traditional Gulf supplier for India. About $3.4 billion have been imported, and Oman, which is again a growing supply. In some of the recent months, we've seen $1.3 billion worth of oil imports from this country. And then UAE's significance in energy trade in value as of 2024, about $13.45 billion in crude oil imports from UAE alone to India. Volume, typically 5 to 11% of India's total crude imports come from UAE, and in 2025 the share had risen further to 11.1%. As far as the daily volume is concerned, around 400 to 450,000 barrels per day. In recent years, we've seen 435 KBDT in one 2025 snapshot. The daily volume and UAE's significance in energy trade. Let's look at the ranking as well. It's usually the 4th largest crude supplier to India after Russia and Iraq. Occasionally competes for 3rd or 4th spot with the USA. So those are the key partners of India for oil imports. Russia, Iraq, US and UAE is among the 3rd or the 4th usually. Importance, again, it's a reliable Gulf supplier with shorter shipping routes to India. Occasionally competes there again for the 3rd or the 4th spot with the US. So there, viewers, you get an understanding of how important the UAE is for India as far as oil imports are concerned. And before Prime Minister Narendra Modi, we also had our ministers headed to the UAE for talks. Let's also in fact open this up for discussion with former diplomat Ambassador Gauri Shankar Gupta. Ambassador Gupta, thank you very much for joining me on this. Prime Minister Modi has emplaced for UAE. He'll also be visiting for European countries, including the Netherlands and Italy. Talk to us about the timeliness of this visit of the Prime Minister.
Good morning, Kriti. You see, UAE is one of the most important trading partners of India. As you just explained about the energy security, there are some other aspects as well. You see, there are approximately 40 lakh Indians live in UAE, and the maximum remittance of foreign exchange comes from these 40 lakhs people if you look at country-wise distribution of remittances into India. So the job to all the 40 lakhs people, their remittances into India, their security, physical as well as financial, and of course, we also have a lot of logistic hubs lot of Indian industrialists have opened their offices in Dubai, and from there they export, around the world. So that is also a logistics hub in that sense. Then, of course, the energy security, as you mentioned, it is the third or the fourth largest exporter of oil to India. Our total annual trade with UAE alone is about 110 billion US dollars, which is very, very significant for us. It is the third largest trading partner after China and US. UAE is the third largest trading partner. And therefore, we have very close ties. You see, before PM's visit, as Jaishankar was there, our national security advisor was there, and also our foreign secretary was there. So obviously, there's something very important will be discussed. I have a feeling that apart from energy security, the discussion will also go around the defense collaboration between the two countries, logistic collaborations between the two countries, and of course the energy security, and of course the Gulf situation. Now the situation in the Gulf, maybe it will improve. It looks like, because the Chinese have also expressed their views that Iran should not have nuclear weapon. If that is true, that is the media report. But if it is true, then I think Iran will somehow or the other agree to negotiate and abandon the nuclear enrichment, at least for the time being. If that happens, then the situation will improve. But as of now, as of today, there is total uncertainty whether Trump administration will resume its strike in Iran or not, whether the Gulf of Hormuz will remain closed or will it be open. So the energy security remains very, very uncertain for India. And that is why PM's visit to UAE is very important. You would also recall that Sheikh Zayed, the president, had come to India for a very short visit about 2 months ago. And that time there was some discussion on the energy security as well as defense related security issues with UAE. So I think the defense partnership and energy partnership as well as the trade logistics will dominate the discussion between the two leaders. I have a feeling that some major agreement may also be signed during this brief stopover by the Prime Minister in UAE. Over to you, Kriti.
Ambassador, now this is also the 8th visit of Prime Minister Modi to UAE, and also coming at a time when UAE has left the OPEC nations. Given that being the circumstance, how crucial can this visit be as far as bilateral relations are concerned?
You see, that once the UAE has left OPEC, now they are not governed by quotas and prices. So they can easily develop a very closer relationship with India. They can export as much as they want to India, and the price will also not be determined by the OPEC countries. So this gives them a total freedom how close and how intense relationship they want to develop with India. That is one part. The second part is that UAE also has a route through one of the provinces which actually bypasses Strait of Hormuz, and it directly opens into the Arabian Sea and Indian Ocean. So that gives a great advantage to us. We can always import through that route. In fact, there is a big possibility of constructing a huge pipeline through that route directly into the Indian Ocean, and that will enable us import very large quantity of crude oil from UAE, and that will further enhance our energy security. And UAE is also keen because they have been one country which is open and which has used their resources very wisely to develop the country. Today, UAE is one of the greatest or largest destination for tourism, and they have built a country which is absolutely global in many senses. So I think they have very wisely used their resources. They have developed their country. They are not very what you call radical in any sense. They are very open society, and that is why I think UAE and India can get along very well in all the fields. And that is the reason why Prime Minister Modi has been visiting UAE regularly, and he was also awarded with the highest honor of UAE some time ago.
Right, Ambassador, thank you very much for joining us and helping us with your